Hi, my name's James Malfetus, and I'm a chartered accountant who's one of the world's leading lead and client generating experts to the accounting profession. I'm also the author of the #1 best-selling book called Accounting Clients on Tap, showing accountants exactly how to generate leads and clients by leveraging the internet. Now today I actually help accountants all over the world to build marketing systems that generate a minimum of 2 new clients every month. Now while this system will literally change your practice in ways that you could not even imagine, it does take 3 to 6 months to implement, so it's quite intense. And many accountants have actually just asked me, isn't there a quicker way to go ahead and to generate leads other than us having to take these 3 to 6 months to build a system? And because of this, I want to talk to you today about a done-for-you lead generation system that we've put in place that's going to literally fill your pipeline with leads. And of course, the platform that we're using is our very own LinkedIn. This is the most effective system that I've ever found to generate qualified prospects as long as you're in the business-to-business space. So just in case you're wondering, here are a few statistics of just why this is so effective. You know, LinkedIn has now got over 560 million members. And LinkedIn's reported goal is to get 3 billion, that's billion with a B, members. So you can see they've still got quite a way to go. And even now, they're adding members at a rate of more than 2 per second. Now, 260 million of those LinkedIn users, so that's a fraction less than 50%, actually log in every single month. So that's quite a phenomenal statistic. And 40% of those active users actually log in every single day. Also, there are 61 million LinkedIn users that are at senior level. When I say senior level, I mean senior level influencers, and about 40 million are actually in decision-making positions. And last year, Microsoft actually paid $26.2 billion for LinkedIn, which probably means that you and I should actually be a little bit interested in LinkedIn as well. Now, the interesting thing with LinkedIn is that it's actually designed for the sole purpose of business professionals connecting with other business professionals to do business. So essentially, if you want to think of it that way, it's actually a dedicated prospecting tool. It's also got a built-in sales letter and a built-in landing page, and of course, that is known as your profile. Now, this is great because it's actually got all of the benefits of direct response and direct email and direct mail without any of the painful side effects. And it's great because even if you don't have a website, or maybe you've got a website that's not doing too well for you, then of course you can just use your LinkedIn profile in order to take over that function to build your authority and to drive new leads into your business. Now, if this is something that's of interest to you, I want to encourage you to reach out and have a short conversation about this with me. Even if you've just got some questions about this, just go ahead and book a call and we'll see whether you're going to be a good fit for this program or not. Now, what I want to do now is just to discuss the scope of this done-for-you service with LinkedIn. You see, the bottom line here is that your market is on LinkedIn, then this is going to work for you probably better than anything else that you can imagine. And of course, it's going to be cheaper and it's going to work for you in the long run, and you're going to get long-term leverage and long-term assets from this. So we're essentially going to do 3 things for you. So the first thing that we're going to do is to rewrite your profile for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to make it very desirable and very appealing. Now, I've got to tell you, many, and in fact, most of the accounts that I've ever seen, they make so many mistakes with their profile. You see, the focus here is on 2 things. This is really going to be your job title. And I don't want you to think about it as a job title, which so many other accountants think of it as. I want you to think of it as a headline. And then, of course, your summary is where a lot of people go and put in some boring old stuff. But really, what you want to do with your summary is think of it as a sales letter, because that's really what it is. So what we want to do is to rewrite your headline and your summary. It's got to be eye-catching, and it's got to be benefit-driven and outcome-orientated. This is very, very important. And the reason for that is that when your prospects actually get to your LinkedIn profile, you want them to know exactly who you are and what you can do for them. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'll just use my profile as an example so that obviously I can protect the privacy of my other clients. I like to just keep that intact. But for all intents and purposes, what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite your summary, stating the problem, and of course, the solution that you're going to provide to that problem. And of course, the most important thing there is that we're going to follow it with a call to action. Now, if at all possible, what we're going to do is we're actually going to put a booking link in there so that they can book directly on your calendar. We also want to spice up your profile with a headline and a sales letter, as we said, rather than that good old CV type thing. And you know, the way that LinkedIn's actually created it, they actually lull you into this false sense because they actually want you to use LinkedIn as a resume, which is kind of crazy. I mean, we're all in there to do business. So we're going to take that up to an absolutely new level for you. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to build out your ideal customer spec. Now, once we've done this, LinkedIn allows us absolutely crazy precise targeting. For example, a colleague of mine who actually runs a digital agency in Australia, he recently targeted the 4,000 registered dentists, almost all of whom were on LinkedIn, and he sold 18 $2,000 a month retainers in less than 60 days. So I'm sure that you could also target dentists or maybe even attorneys or financial advisors or anything else that you want in your accounting services. Let me go ahead and show you what this will look like. So if we pop into Sales Navigator over here, we'll go into the searches, and let's say we're going to go and look for some leads. Now I'm just going to do a very, very simple keyword search for you. Let's go and assume we're going to search for attorney. Then, because we're in South Africa, let's just go and do some geographic searches. So let's just say South Africa. If I just put in South, it'll come up. I'm just going to search in the Johannesburg area, so not even the whole of South Africa. And you can see we've already got 17,000 results up here for attorneys. But now the great thing about this is we can continue to go in here and we can continue to refine all of this information so that we can actually get that down to a meaningful number. And the more of these filters that we use, because LinkedIn actually provides this for us, the easier it's going to be for us to connect with just the right people. So let's go and look at seniority level. Let's say we want to click owners. So if we click on owners, you'll see that this number up here is obviously going to reduce. So now we've got 705 attorneys who are owners. Well, let's maybe look for partners as well, because that's another word for them. Now we're up to 1,072. You know what? Maybe they're actually directors. So if we click on directors, so we've got almost 3,000 attorneys that we can go and have a look at. So if I click on the search button here, let's go and see what comes up. So as you can see, we've got all of these attorneys, and there's a whole bunch of other information up here that actually helps us to determine exactly who we want to speak to. But as we scroll down, you can see that these people are all attorneys, and if you were an accountant, you would have a great opportunity to convert all of these attorneys into paying clients. And you can see that there's nothing here that is not an attorney. And this information goes on and on. We've got almost 3,000 of them. So as you can see, there's tremendous opportunity for you to actually dig into this, to find exactly the prospects that you need, and of course to grow your practice on a daily basis. So these are the types of decision makers that we can make contact with for you. Thirdly, what we're going to do is we're going to reach out to these people on your behalf at a rate of between 35 and 50 a day, depending on the industry that you want to target. Now, that's literally going to be like having a sales team knocking on the door every single day, or a call center making 50 calls a day. We're actually going to reach out to 35 to 50 people, and we're going to request them to connect with you. And the reason we don't do more is because we don't exceed the safe limits and the safe guidelines that are laid down by LinkedIn. Now, what you've got to understand is that a good percentage of these people are actually going to connect back with us. And when they do, we're going to send them a message. The message that we're going to send them is a direct message, which is going to be a very, very soft offer. Now, this is what we call direct response marketing, and this is how we actually speed up the process, and this is how we speed up the cycle of us connecting with somebody and then them wanting to do business with us rather sooner than later. Now, we're talking about getting in touch with someone who is, of course, looking for your solution and then obviously offering it to them straight away. So typically, we're going to send out 50 requests a day, and we can expect back maybe 8 to 15 people that are going to connect back with us, and probably about one conversation a day to start. So you're going to easily be generating 3 to 5 quality leads every single week. So what do we do with the leads that don't respond back? Well, we follow up with them directly, again using LinkedIn. You see, not everyone's going to respond immediately. And depending on the industry, we're going to follow up with another message 30 days later. We're just going to say something like, hey, I sent you a message a little while ago. I'm just following up to see if you're still interested. We're then going to follow up with those who didn't respond 30 days later, 60 days later, and even 90 days later. And of course, we're just going to use LinkedIn as an autoresponder. And what I'm also going to do for you is I'm actually going to take that offline, and I'm going to help you to build an email list, and we're going to follow up with them with email as well as just the LinkedIn autoresponder. Now, the only time that you've actually got to get involved in this process is when somebody actually shows interest, and that's when the process is really going to be handed back to you. So we're going to do all of this for you. You only have to respond to a positive lead. So we're going to handle everything for you. We're going to rewrite your profile. We're going to make it really, really attractive. Then we're going to build your audience for you, and we're going to connect with them, and we're going to follow up with them until they're interested. And of course, we're going to do that at a rate of 35 to 50 a day, because that's the safe rate. Now, just understand something, that LinkedIn is what I like to call a use it or lose it platform. So you're only allowed to contact a set number of people a day. And if you don't do it this day, well, guess what? It doesn't carry over tomorrow. So let's say, for example, that you're allowed 50 a day. If you only contact 30 today, that doesn't mean that you're going to get 70 tomorrow. No. Tomorrow, you get your allowance of 50 again. So you need to maximize what is available to you if you want to get the sort of numbers in terms of leads and clients that I'm getting from LinkedIn. You see, the reason that you can expect 3 to 5 leads back every single week is because we're going to be prospecting big time, and the key word here is consistency. Not a little bit here and a little bit there. Now, maybe you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I can do that myself. And while that's fine, let's just be honest, okay? I'm an accountant, I've been in practice. You and I both know that time's at a premium and that you probably are really not going to do it every day religiously. For most accountants that I deal with, this is just like a kind of like a New Year's resolution. So you're 100% committed for the first 3 days, and then after that, everything just falls apart. So because the key is consistency, this is why you should seriously consider allowing us to do all the heavy lifting for you. Now, there's no ad spend involved, which is really great. If you think of other platforms that you might have advertised on before, you might be thinking of like AdWords and Facebook ads, you've got to pay for the ads as well. And the thing that I must point out to you here, which is really, really very valuable, is that on LinkedIn, 100% of your emails are guaranteed to be delivered. That's because LinkedIn obviously controls the whole LinkedIn universe. Now, I can't guarantee that they're going to read it, but what I can guarantee is that it's going to get into their LinkedIn inbox. So if this is something that you want to explore further and you want to see if it can work for you, just click a call below and we'll have a short conversation to see if this is right for you. If we can, we'll move forward. If not, that's fine. There's no hard feelings and we'll just part as friends. So there's absolutely no obligation. So there's a link below this video here. Go there right now and book a call, and I look forward to chatting to you real soon.